Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, it's 1 a.m. Just a quick video before I go to sleep. I want you guys to pray for me. I want you to pray that Marie Curie and her two daughters invite me to go to heaven with them tonight. I'll just go to sleep and I'll wake up in heaven. And the reason for that is that life here on Earth just feels like a giant minefield. You never know when you might trip the wrong person, the wrong situation. Earlier this morning, I'm very eager to record videos sometimes, and I woke up 9 o'clock, 9:30 a.m. on a Monday morning and didn't think it's a big deal to record a video in the hallway of the hostel, right? I mean, I could have come downstairs, but I was just really eager. And this guy gets really upset at me, and I get pretty upset when my videos get interrupted. That's something that I've never gotten over. You guys saw I had similar trouble in Las Vegas. And long story short, it did not go. Fortunately, it de-escalated quickly. We're surrounded by Asians who actually problem solve, right? Not take, to have point fingers at each other. Right? So that's good. But had this happened back home in the United States, oh my God, somebody's going to get hurt for sure. Somebody's going to get kicked out of the hostel. Somebody's going to get hurt. And also, I found that people here in Taiwan are more open-minded. I'm very introverted. It's hard for me to join in a conversation that's loud and you guys. So I actually recorded a video during one of those so you guys could see how loud it gets. But even then, I found that I didn't get excluded too much. I walked away from that, and people were coming up to me one at a time to talk to me, and I got to advertise a little bit about my Lego project. So I'm very pleased about that. But I find that when I get home to the United States, I was just thinking, every month it seems like at my job, I really get along with all the students, but every month, every few weeks, somebody finds something stupid to write to HR about me that I accidentally forgot to clean up after myself in the kitchen because one of my students who was overdue on his final finally called me, and instead of getting praised for going above and beyond and to chase around a student all around schedules and cancellations to finally take his final, the only thing anybody notices is that I left a disaster in the microwave. What message does this send? If you go above and beyond, not only do you not get any recognition for it, but anything that falls apart on your watch because you did that is on you, right? That's the message. It creates a huge moral hazard for people to not go above and beyond, right? That's the culture we live in over in the United States, right? Who wants to go above and beyond? Imagine you made some kind of an investment, but all your returns get taxed at 100%, right? You take all of the risk, but anything you make gets taxed 100%. Would you want to make an investment like that, right? That's our work culture. No wonder people are quiet quitting, right? Who wants to take the risk, right? But I feel like I'm always walking a tightrope. Who am I gonna trigger today? What am I gonna miss today? I feel like I feel like constantly. Oh, did I forget to do something? Did I forget to do something? It's very intrusive. That kind of thought. Even when I'm thousands of miles away from home. Oh my God, did I forget to email somebody? Did I, just constantly worry when I leave the hostel? Did I leave something in a disaster that somebody's gonna be upset about when I get back to my room? Right. The other day, I don't know what happened. I put my phone down and accidentally some Peter Dislike show was playing over and over and over and over and over again, and my phone was locked. And the guy had to put my phone in some kind of a box just so they wouldn't hear that. And now, there's just so many landmines here on Earth. I'm sick of it. And I want to go to a peaceful place where nobody has to worry about if they annoyed somebody by mistake, if they dotted their I's and they crossed their T's, if, you know, they have to be sensitive about what they talk about because the person hearing it might misconstrue it. I want to, and so I pray that Marie Curie will invite me to her heaven. And I'm also upset about the fact that I often don't have the resources to network more with people, right? So, for example, I wish I could be coming out here to Taiwan more. I'm still looking into pivoting my career here, but I don't think I'll have all the resources here either. This past week, I found that it was nice getting to just talk to people when I here in Taiwan. It's easier for me to afford to go out to eat, and I found I networked with a lot of people here doing that. I wish I could afford that back home in the United States. The only problem is I could go into that restaurant because of something I'll get to in a moment. I had a favorite restaurant my first week of the trip. It's a all-you-can-eat hot pot restaurant, and I came up with a little bit of a hack. I love intermittent fasting, so what I would do is every day fast 24 hours and then go there and eat a good 3, 4, 5,000 calories worth of really good cuts of lamb. And unfortunately, my last 2 times there, the owner was there and gave me a lot of trouble because apparently she didn't like how much I was eating. And I decided that, you know what, this is too good a restaurant to mess up. And so I took a break from going there, and I'll have to figure out when that owner's schedule is and go around that. Uh, but other than that, I had a really good conversation with the with the other employees there. A lot of young people who still live with their parents work there. Part of the problem with the U.S. is that these kids who want to work at restaurants or fast food places, they want to be independent, so there's a lot of push for higher wages, and as a result the cost of eating out is also a whole lot more. The overall result is that everybody's more disconnected with their family, they're disconnected with their community. We've traded real wealth, our connection with one another, for our so-called independence, which really is a form of imprisonment, right? To be disconnected from everybody else, right? Look up, just out of curiosity, when did Marie Curie's 2 daughters leave the nest? Right, probably quite late in their life, and they were fine with that, right? And so they seem to have very happy lives, right? If it weren't for what they worked with, they probably could have all lived very long, right? After all, Eve Curry lived to be 102, right? All right. Just very upsetting. I hate that I have to watch where I walk with everything I touch, right? Like, for example, every time I open my mouth to talk to a coworker, I got to think 5 times, how's this going to be misconstrued? Or even on vacation, right? I leave the hostel room, did I forget to put something back? I'm sick of it. Maybe it's a sign of my autism, but you know what? I want to go to a place that will accept me for that as well. So, Mary Curry, I hope you will invite me. There's so many plane crashes. How come my plane didn't crash? I used to have a big fear of flying, but now every time I encounter turbulence on the plane, I think maybe I'm on my way to flying to take a flight to go see Mary Curry. Right? I wouldn't be too upset about that, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.